Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. For some of you, this is going to be a long-awaited video. For others, maybe you're not at this level, but I've been telling you and preaching saving money, saving money, saving money. And of course, I'm gonna get people in the comments saying, don't save the money is fiat currency, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm not a theoretical person, I am a practical person. Practicality rules. What is going on right now? So what is the video about? What to do with $50,000? Not just what to do, but what's the best thing to do with $50,000? Okay, you have saved $50,000. Now here's the takeaway from this. First of all, if you're able to save $50,000, then you're capable of saving $50,000 more dollars, right? So if you completely go belly up on what I'm about to tell you, still be in the same mode that you were in to save the first $50,000. And I'm not talking about you need to sell your Xbox or you need to trade in your silverware. I'm talking about you saved $50,000. I'm not talking about you sold off your inheritance that you got from your grandmother's estate. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you saved $50,000. What's the best possible thing that you could save do with $50,000 that you have saved? Now, this is over and above the cash that I have told you to have on hand for one entire year of expenses, of full expenses. That means house note, that means car note, insurance, light bill, power bill, mortgage, school, your kids' schooling, shoe shopping, food, extra food, going out to movies. An entire year's worth of money that you could spend normally as if you still had a job and still buy everything that you would normally get, including going to the movies, all your entertainment, dining, dancing, the whole 9 yards. An entire year's worth of that money in a safe in your house. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about you have saved an extra $50,000, which means you are really disciplined, right? And this discipline doesn't go away when you spend this $50,000, right? I want to hone in on that you have set up systems so that you are saving $50,000 over and above your expense, and keep adding to your expense account. That's what I'm going to call your account in your safe, right? Your money you have in your safe. Okay, so here we go. $50,000. You are going to look for online, or if you happen to have a realtor friend. We're talking about a friend. We're not talking about you're going out and getting a realtor friend, or look online. And you're going to look for a house that needs to be flipped. With $50,000, I want you to look for a house where, and this is for the noob, somebody with absolutely no idea what they're doing, none whatsoever, no prior experience. I want you to look for a house where half of the $50,000, so we're talking about $25,000, could serve as a down payment. So we're looking for a cheap house, a house that's maybe $100,000 that you buy. I'm not talking about it retails for $100,000. I'm saying that you buy. What's the difference? I want you to flip a house. This is what we're gonna renovate a house with part of the $50,000. So you have to get a house that you can buy far cheaper than what the actual retail value is if it was ready to move into, right? You understand that everything's in place and people just literally bring the toothbrush and suitcase and move in ready. So we don't want the move-in ready house. We want the house that needs tender love and care. So you're going to look for exactly that. People will say needs tender love and care, contractor builder, contractor buyer, needs renovating, any of those, owner, seller. This is what you're going to look for. And you're going to look for literally a dilapidated house. Now, hopefully, the more dilapidated the house in the better area is the best. So you're going to try and look for a house that severely needs renovating, but it's going to be in an area where the houses sell for a lot more than what you're buying. So we're talking about $100,000 that you buy it for. Now you're going to put $25,000 down, right? Or $20,000 or whatever it is. And the rest of it you're going to use to renovate the house. And then you are going to rent out that house. Now, here's the ideal thing. When you are, first of all, finding the house is great. You're gonna do your homework in trying to find the best house for the money that you have. And here's what you do. When you find that house, I want you to arrange meetings with 20 different contractors, and at least 20 different contractors. And here is what you are doing. You are having the contractors come over, and you're having them, and you carry a list with you, and you're going to ask them to go over the entire house with you. Each one go over the entire house with you, and you're going to ask them to price every little thing in the house. Now here's what you're doing. This is school for you. So you are paying attention as if you are paying thousands of dollars for this education. So you have these 20 different contractors come at 20 different times, go over every little detail with you, and you're going to write every single thing that they say, how much it costs, how much of it you need, blah, blah, blah. Now, you're going to find that around the fifth contractor that you're going to get a real sense of the stuff that you personally can do without their help at all. Now, you're not touching anything, right? You're not touching anything in the house. Well, you could sweep the house or even, no, don't touch anything in the house. So you're going to ask them how much for the removal of the trash, how much for the cleaning up, what can be salvaged, what can be reused in the house, everything. And about the fifth contractor, you're going to then start creating a list of what you can do yourself without a contractor. The more you can do yourself, the more you can save. Now, I want you to build or remodel the house or renovate the house up to just the going rate, the retail value of move-in ready houses in that area. Don't go not a penny above that. So you're not putting marble countertops in a low rent district, right? You understand what I'm saying? But if you happen to get a house worth $400,000 retail, but you only paid $100,000 for it, then you better be able to put in enough to renovate it to the retail value. You see what I'm saying? And that means then you want to be able to do a lot of stuff yourself if you can do it at a professional level. I don't mean slap some paint on the wall in the middle of the wall and you have these unprofessional corners and the paint all up on the trim and stuff. I mean, just horrible stuff. There's a lot of people out here who hire Mexicans, and the Mexicans have absolutely no idea what they're doing. They're just saying, I'm cheap. Well, you're cheap, but you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. And then you walk into these houses and there's paint all on the trim. The locks are painted over. You can't even open up the windows. I mean, just ridiculous stuff. But these people, I got over. I didn't pay that much in labor. You didn't pay that much in labor, but nobody's going to buy your damn house. So you have to be at a professional level, and you have to do anything that you're going to do personally. You're going to do it at a professional level, and you're going to require that also. That means when you finally hire a contractor, that means if they show up with a whole bunch of Mexicans, you say, I expect professional quality level in everything. I get that you're hiring Mexicans, but if these guys don't know what they're doing, I'm firing you and the Mexicans, and I'm suing you. And you have to make that clear under no uncertainty. You are the boss. You have to make that clear. Now, everybody can say, well, you're being racist. No, I'm not being racist. I'm being a realist. Why are you hiring somebody just to underpay them and not do the job? You're hiring a professional. You expect professionalism. And it's horrible. It's tile work. The tiles are all uneven. I live in a house like that. That's why I'm so upset. I live in a house like every piece of tile in this entire house is all uneven. All of it. One side of the tile is 3 inches up. The other side is -1 inch down of whatever level that they were. There's not a level in the house. And I'm talking about up on the walls too. Uneven everything, everywhere. So it's not a question of the foundation sink or anything like that. It's just horrible work. You're the boss. When you're hiring a contractor, you're still the boss. And you tell them under no uncertainty, because this is your money. This is not their money. This is your money. They don't care. All they care about is getting paid. And if they can get by with doing sloppy work, which means less time. Oh, I can throw down 50 tiles on a floor, throw down some shellac and call it a day. But it's a whole nother thing to level the floor and lay down tile piece by piece. And they don't want to pay those people. If those people could get by in half an hour's work, they will do it. They will get over on you. That's why I'm saying you are going to go to town when all of these 20 contractors come through. You have your list and you listen and you write down everything. Even if the person is repeating the same exact thing that 15 other contractors said. And when you find these contractors who are bidding so low and you call them back, I want you to ask them, why are you so much lower than everybody else? I expect professional work. Are you promising me professional work, and I will sue you if I do not have professional? Just right, you lay your cards right on the table right at the beginning. So the idea is you get your house that you're gonna renovate. Well, you're not flipping, you're just renovating. Well, it's called flipping, but flipping on the connotation is a lot of these reality TV shows. They say flipping when they simply mean renovating. Flipping means that you have turned a piece of crap into a diamond. That's the only thing flipping means. Your exit strategy is completely different. You can exit to a cash buyer. You can exit, that's called a rehabber. Somebody who takes a house, renovates it, and sells it. That's called a rehabber. Landlording means that this is what I'm telling you to do. You are taking the piece of crap house, polishing it, fixing the stuff that actually needs to be fixed. Don't do crappy work, because you wouldn't want to live in a crappy house. Don't deliver a crappy house to anybody. And you're going to rent it out. You're going to landlord. Now, if it's a fantastic deal and you end up with a $300,000 house, a $400,000 house, a $500,000 house, after you've renovated it and you are renting it out to somebody, and then you're, recouping that $50,000, and after you build up 5 or so houses, then after 5 houses, then you get your management team who goes out and collects all the money for you. They do a whole bunch of stuff for you. But I believe the least amount that they want to do is 5 houses or more. The minimum is 5 houses. You might want to check around for that. But the $50,000 stock market, no. Gold, no. Silver, no. We're talking about $50,000 one lump sum. $100,000, yes. Silver, $1,000, gold, yeah. That's what we're talking about there. But if you have $50,000 one lump sum, no, I do not recommend gold. I don't recommend silver. I recommend that you get into the flipping or rehabbing business and landlording business. Now, what you can do is also write this down. Look for a hard money lender if you need more renovation money. But they are going to look for a payout in a short term. 1 month, 3 months. Look that up. Hard money lender. They don't care about your credit. All they care about is the property that they are lending on. If you need more money, then if, let's say, you got that $500,000 retail house, but you got it for a steal at $100,000, they will love that because they know that they can recoup anything that they loan you by seizing a home and selling it. So they will be happy to do. The better your deal, the better it is for you and stuff like hard money lending and other stuff, right? So do your homework. It's your $50,000, right? It's not anybody else's. But you're going to, if you're going to take a hard money loan, you're going to end up selling the house because they're going to want a payout. And then if you have to take a hard money loan out to really go for it and sell the house for $500,000, you got a fantastic deal. If you get a fantastic, just outrageous deal and you have to have a third party like a hard money lender, then you're going to have to sell the home. If not, if you can renovate it to its best possible, to its retail value of the going rate in the area, you're going to rent it out. And that's how you're going to build your empire. Now, I've said in a lot of videos, I said, oh, well, you're buying house. And then people say, oh, this is a horrible time. There's a bubble. Yes, there's a bubble, but not for investors. Investors are go-getters. They look for deals, and that's what you're looking for. And when you're looking at houses and you go to the house and you see that the house has the paint peeling off the walls and the floor tiles are cracked and the swimming pool tiles are coming apart and the swimming pool is green and the sliding doors don't slide and cabinet doors are missing and the person is saying, I want $300,000 for this house. You turn around and say, I will give you $100,000 for this house. And don't be afraid if they act offended, because that's them. That's their bad for wanting something for absolutely nothing. Make the offer and don't be afraid to make the offer. Okay, that's the best thing to do with $50,000. And if you have $100,000, same thing. If you have $500,000, same thing. Right? In fact, the multi-million-dollar market is actually fine. It never even saw a dip. What was the real bubble was the houses that were overinflated. The $200,000 house that was selling for $700,000. Ridiculous stuff. And don't be afraid to look up prices a year ago, 2 years ago. Now, you're not going to use that for your retail prices. You're just going to use that as a understanding of the history of the actual area. You look up first 1 month to see if houses have sold in the area, 2 months, then up to 6 months. If nothing has sold in the area, then you go to a year, or expand your area around the house. First is month, 2 months, 6 months, then expand the area month, 2 months, 6 months. That's when you're searching for your gym, right? But this is what I advise: 50,000, 100,000, $500,000, even $1 million. Once you get past $500,000, you're just looking at the $1 million properties anyway. And those properties you don't even need help on. You grab it, offer the lowest that you possibly can, renovate it, and rent it out. I say renting it out is the best deal. In a bubble, you want to sell, but this particular bubble, the way this is run is a lot of these houses have not really gone up too far. Some of the houses haven't gone up too far. If you look at the historical value, they are not up to their bubble level still. In some cities, they're not back up to the bubble level. And then you account for inflation, all that sort of stuff. You have to be fairly technical with this. You have to account for inflation and look up the inflation rates and look for the devaluation of the dollar. You have to take all of that into account. We're talking about $50,000. It's not chump change, so you better do your homework. The $1 million market, the high-end market, had never saw anything bad happen. It's the overinflated market that was selling for $1 million. Yes, don't be confused by the two. If you have a 75,000 square foot property with 3 acres and a 10-foot wall around the entire property, that's what we're talking about, right? We're not talking about the 3-bedroom home in the suburb that sold for $700,000. That's ridiculous on a lot. That's ridiculous. I don't care where it is. Unless it's in the high rent district but I said suburb. So yeah, you know what I mean. So account for inflation. Is this a bubble type of situation? But you're looking for the piece of garbage that's in the nice area that you can renovate and then rent out. And then you can build your empire slowly, house by house by house. And once and make sure everything is a system. Keep track of how you did things, how you hired the contractor. Keep track of his name and make sure he understands that this is not going to be the only house that he's going to be dealing with you with. That in the future, you're going to be hiring him again. So if he does a good job here, he could be your contractor. And you have a system. You call him every 6 months. Oh, I got another 50,000. Let's go to town. And then sometimes, listen to this. Sometimes the contractor will partner up with you. And then his share is he's doing the contract work. He's billing out the entire contract work and he's partnered with you. And a lot of times they want a payout, and if you can afford that, you could buy them out and still rent the property, or you simply sell the property. All of this is going to be included in my future stuff that I will be announcing for paid subscription that you can purchase and watch. I think it's like 99 cents, but I'll do an entire series on just buying, selling, renovating, rehabbing, wholesaling, bird dogging, the entire kit and caboodle to get you up and running as an investor in property. And we're not talking about investing in property that's at a bubble that you're going to lose your shirt on. And while I said, hopefully you won't lose your shirt, there is still risk. Sometimes you just don't come out ahead. And then you have to sell the property, try and recoup what you can out of it. But then you do end up with money back in your hands, and you still have a property that was worth way more than what you put down for it. So you get cash on that. And hopefully you have some sort of built-in equity after the renovation on paper equity. You know what I'm talking about? After you've renovated, the house is worth now 3 times what you put into it. And if you have to sell it, that's how you can recoup it. Anyway, thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show. If you're interested in seeing the entire series, leave a comment. I read all of the comments. Leave a comment if you're interested in the series of me doing the tutorial on every possible aspect, including the financial, going over every possible thing. I will put all of the effort into the for pay thing so that it will be both interesting, visually appealing, and educational to the point where you could make money doing this. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show.